Hello and welcome back to the Brodeurland Show. I'm so glad you're here. Today's topic on the Brodeurland Show is being cooperative. That's right. All about cooperation. How can you foster it in your everyday lives? And so you know the drill here. Mr. Broder is about to talk about some topics we're going to mention on the Brodeurland Show today. The question is, what are they, Mr. Broder? Great question. Well, first, we've got to talk about how can we foster cooperation in our lives and in the lives of the people around us. Second, cooperation is all about giving people a voice and allowing them to know that they're valued. And third, you keep cooperation by being real, by being authentic, as well as fostering humility throughout the whole process. So, we've got to dive on in. And you know the thing here. We've got to talk about what is that Brodeurland definition for being cooperative. So let's get rolling. Let's get started. And let's get this show on the road right now. So the Brodeurland definition for being cooperative goes like this. Engage in discussions. Make eye contact with each other. And provide support by working together. Now that you know the Brodeurland definition for being cooperative, we've got to dive on in. We've got to embark on this journey and get our feet wet to learn how we can apply this into our everyday lives. And to do so, I've got 3 quotes lined up for us that really embrace the beauty and the nature behind cooperation. So what are we waiting for? I'm ready to dive on in. Are you? Let's take a look at our first quote right now. Today's first quote is by Henry Ford, and he says this: "Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success." You see, Henry Ford is one of those masters in cooperation. I mean, he made the assembly line, right? And you talk about somebody that took something new, had to get everybody on board, everybody working in sync to create a successful system. That's hard work, especially when change doesn't come easy. I mean, change is frightening, especially when you don't have 100% control over something, correct? I mean, how do you take cooperation and how do you really get it to work, especially with human nature where we have tons of questions and tons of concerns? Well, just like Henry Ford, he gave everybody a vital role, a specific role, and showed you matter. Without you, there's a missing link to the chain. And that's very important in really fostering and being cooperative and getting everybody involved. But before I get ahead of myself, this leads perfectly into our next quote, all about the parts we all play in being cooperative. So let's jump into our next quote right now. Our second quote today is by Sue Gardner, and she says this: "Everyone brings their crumb of information to the table. If they are not at the table, we don't benefit from their crumb." Everybody has something that they can bring to a group, whether that's their gifts, their talents, their perspectives, their ideas. It's all worthy. We all matter. We all have value. That's right. Now you might be thinking, Mr. Broder, we don't need all their gifts and talents and ideas, maybe on a particular goal or mission that group is trying to strive towards. And that's true. But here's the deal. If you are open and you allow everybody to share, you create this accepting environment. You create this trusting environment. And that way, later on down the road, when you start to hit this next mission, this next task that you guys are trying to strive towards, you can go back and say, hey, remember that idea? Hey, you have that gift, you have that talent that is perfect for this part right here. And that's the time where that individual can come out, that individual can shine. They can really showcase their value. That's the power of being cooperative. That's the power of cooperation right there. Now, in order to keep that though, you've got to be authentic. You've got to be real. That's correct. And that's what we're going to jump into as we try to wrap up this video and jump into our final quote right now. Our final quote today is by Nelson Mandela, and he says this: "If you want the cooperation of humans around you, you must make them feel they are important. And you do that by being genuine and humble." So at the end of the day, we all matter. We all have value. If you want to build trust, if you want to build cooperation, you've got to be authentic. You've got to be real. You see, if you want cooperation to work, you can't just fake it. You've got to be honest. You've got to be real, and you've got to have humility. Now, humility is definitely one of the most misinterpreted words, I think, for tons of people, including myself for such a long time. You see, so many of us, we think humility is, oh, I feel bad for winning. Oh, please, I don't want anyone to feel bad because I did so great. No, it's not all about thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself less. It's not all about me. It's not all about you. Can you be that good team player? Can you actively listen to allow cooperation to really resonate in your life, in the lives of others? So always remember, you make each day a special day by just you being you. There's no one in the whole world like you except you, and I like you just the way you are. It's good that you exist, but you've got to go out there. You've got to show people that they're valued, that they have a voice, as well as being real yourself, being authentic, and showing that humility as you march forward to allow cooperation to live in your life. That way you can become that best version of yourself. So until next time, Broder out. Peace.